If, like me, you watched today's proceedings at the Public Investments Committee regarding the scandal and felt frustrated, outraged, and just sheer fatigue, then you're not alone. Day after day, month after month, we have been subjected to these proceedings, hearing mind-boggling figures, some more than we can even fathom ourselves, being discussed. And we've witnessed the makings of a rather convoluted process of tendering. Who signed what? Who was a signatory to which company? Who offered guarantees? Who are the directors of which company or holding entity? It's enough to make your head spin. And all of this for what? To their credit, the PIC hearings have helped us learn some incredulous things. Some of the testimonies outrageous and has shown us how things truly work in this country. But again, to what end? Whatever comes of these hearings, have we seen prosecution as a result of what is said here? Are people made to pay for obvious irregularities and some downright illegalities that are unearthed from this process? Have we seen the EACC swoop in, conduct investigations resulting from these proceedings, and finally convictions in a court of law? Are we making any movement at all? And by the way, it's not just about this KEMSA scandal. Who have you seen get into trouble after appearing here? Yes, the PIC members ask some tough questions, but it's like watching a football team whose players have such razzmatazz on the pitch with some fancy footwork, dazzling dribbling, but who never score. These sessions seem quite futile. After all, the most they can do is to write a report with some recommendations, table it before the House, which can then adopt or reject it. And even if they do adopt it, all they can do is recommend further investigations and prosecution. This recommendation, by the way, is not legally binding to any entity. So what is the point of all this then? In any case, you and I live in this country where we've seen reports of MPs watering down committee reports because of alleged bribery by persons who are subject of the very same scandal. How many reports have we seen go nowhere? How many people held accountable? Even the persons appearing before this committee, by the way, don't take it seriously enough. Take, for instance, one person who said that he was simply walking by KEMSA headquarters and decided to walk in there and, see what's up, and landed himself a tender worth billions. Or the show of arrogance we saw before the committee today. Would these people behave this way in a court of law? Say these things before a judge? Folks, it's time for us to begin to ask the usefulness of these committee hearings. And a look at the functions of the PIC may well be a good place to start. The official functions are listed as, and I quote, to examine the reports and accounts of the public investments and examine whether the affairs of the public investments are being managed in accordance with sound financial business principles and prudent commercial practices, end quote. So there you have it, folks. They can only examine these practices and perhaps recommend further action by other entities who are not even bound by those recommendations. There are no legal consequences to these hearings in Parliament. They cannot even blacklist one from doing business based on what comes out of these sessions. Neither, by the way, can they even blacklist these persons from attending the same cattle dip as everyone else in the village. The definition of madness, ladies and gentlemen, is doing things the same way and expecting different results. This is clearly not working. For the sake of our mental health as a country, let us not subject Kenyans to more of these tall tales. For the sake of our pockets, let's save some money on these hearings whose members earn sitting allowances for each of those sittings. Either we give the Public Investments Committee some more powers to hold those who appear before them accountable for their misdeeds, or disband it altogether. And that is my take tonight.